Hey, it's Bill. I'm continuing my series of soups, and I was going back through some that I've done before, and I wanted to bring them back, maybe make some little tweaks and changes. But either way, it's still cold, really cold. In fact, there's going to be mixed precipitation in North Florida in the Panhandle. That's about as cold as it gets here. So this is a cream mushroom soup. I'm keeping it real basic. Button mushrooms are good enough. Of course, first you want to, wipe them off. Don't wash them. Take a paper towel. They actually make mushroom brushes. I have one. Works pretty good. Also good for cleaning your nails, but that's another story. So I'm going to start with 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of butter. Get these mushrooms going. Oh, make sure to get them all in there. This is a pound of mushrooms. And if there's a little dirt on them, not going to kill you, okay? I tell people that all the time, they look at me funny. This just always makes me think about when I was a kid, cold mornings, or cold, it was always dark out, so I couldn't tell what time it was. In the wintertime of having a can of soup for lunch, like tomato, cream, and mushroom. Used to fancify the tomato by using, as a can of Campbell's soup, and then you fill the can up with milk. Easy to measure, easy to make. Of course, we didn't have microwaves back then. Isn't that scary? So, I got this on a pretty medium kind of heat. I just want to make sure everything gets coated, and you know how mushrooms are. They start to suck all that liquid in, and they start to give it all up. Alright. I wish it were a little warmer, okay? But this is a really good recipe. Lots of flavor, lots of good stuff. Makes you all happy. I'm working with some sides to have with it, but I think tonight when I have the soup, maybe I'll do like some kind of Reuben. Yeah, maybe that'd be good. As soon as the mushrooms start sweating to the 80s with what's his name, I turn up the heat because I want to evaporate some of that water out of here. Mushrooms are so funny, it's like they just wither into nothing. Trying to decide what to make next. I make big pots of soup, and then I have soup for like 3 or 4 nights. I'm like, okay, what's next? Gotta have that next one all ready to go. So the importance of getting some of this liquid out is because when I put the other veggies in to cook, I don't want them to be steamed. I want them to actually cook, kind of caramelize. Big difference, okay? It's Still smells good. Okay, and all it is like some freaking mushrooms, but it smells good. So while I'm bored, I put a little pepper in there. Of course, you've heard me say this before. You know why I put pepper with mushrooms? Because in case you missed any dirt, people don't know if it's the dirt or the pepper. Man, this thing's old. Old dirt. So I've seen some kind of freaky variations on some of my favorite soups, and I haven't really been willing to try, but maybe when I have some more time, I'll jump on them and try them out. Oh yeah. Just warms you up just sitting over the soup. Plus it steams my glasses, now I can't see. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. These mushrooms looking really good. It's only like half a pot until you cook them and it's like shh. Yep. Getting some of that liquid cooked down. Anyway. Yeah, looks really good. Any suggestions I'll certainly take right now. I was talking to a friend of mine doing a little seafood bisque kind of thing. Pretty creative. Might steal some of the ideas from that. Almost there. Okay. So now I got just a little bit of stuff in the bottom. So we're pretty good to go. Amazing how quick that evaporates off. And you got a high heat. It's not real high. Just remember, if you're using an electric stove, be careful because it doesn't heat. It doesn't heat as fast or cool as fast. So don't want to damage anything. Just about there. Just almost. Fortunately, I really can't rush this. I can speed up the video, but I can't rush this. You can see the bottom of the pan is clear. I can hear the difference. There's really not a whole lot of liquid cooking in here anymore. Okay, there we go. So, what do I got? Well, so I got a medium onion I cut up. This is actually a sweet onion, but it's not like a Vidalia. So it's got a little more tartness to it. That's why we want to kind of get it in here. And I did about 3 carrots, just chopped them up real nice. If you're a purist, I will tell you that with this recipe, you can do like a cup of each. I just like a little more veggie in there, a little more something, a little more substance. So let's stir this up. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. So this is where I want to just get things kind of cooking, sauteed, softened. Just take a minute. It's pretty toasty hot. One of the things I'm going to do to waste some time is I want some thyme. Oh, how funny. Did it waste time? I don't waste time. About a half a tablespoon, which is like, 1/2 teaspoons, in case you can't get the tablespoon in or you have a lid that, whatever. So this is going to help start the process of letting it rebloom, so to speak. I just think thyme really makes the mushroom soup. Like I said, I'm making this kind of hearty, so I wanted to get that extra veggie in there, the onions and carrots. And this isn't garlic cream and mushroom soup, so I'm not adding garlic, but just for the fun of it, I got a shallot in here, and I just want to get some of that kind of garlic flavor in there. That's kind of a new twist. That's something I kind of have been playing with. And, it's not absolutely necessary. It does help. But the biggest thing is that I had one that was probably going to go bad before I was going to use it for something else. So I just thought I would incorporate it into something. Someone asked me about leaving an ingredient out of a recipe just yesterday, and I'd left it out, and I said, well, yeah, and I had actually discussed it during the recipe or the video that sometimes it complicates a recipe if you put something that people don't tend to have in their cupboard. So instead of running out and making people buy things, I just try and really simplify it. Okay, so we're moving on to the next step. I got a whole stick of butter, because that's how you make a good cream soup. No fat. Oh, it's so beautiful. So we're really moving towards that making the roux kind of thing, right? So that's where we've got that whole stick of butter. And now what I want to do is, believe it or not, to me, one of the kind of earthy garden vegetables that is synonymous with mushrooms, to me, are leeks. So I got a bunch of leeks, which at the produce store was 3, And you know, we're going to cut them down thin slices, as far as you can without getting into the nasty green leafy stuff. And I just want to get these in here. And these just need to basically saute for a minute. This is a very happy pot right here, okay? So basically you can always tell because it softens up really quick, and I did cut them pretty thin, so these are just vanishing. I try to, in a lot of these steps, make them real time so people get a feel for it. It's not TV magic where they stick something in the oven and pull it out of the other oven, because you know they just threw it together and it was never going to work anyways. So their staff actually made a better one that's sitting in an oven already cooked, ready to rock and roll. That's why they take a commercial break right at the suspense. It's really that they're loading the food in another oven. Okay, this is perfect. A little crazy in here, so I turned on just a little more. Got all those steps of making a roux, so I want to get staged for that. And turn on just a little more. Okay. I think I'm pretty happy now. Everything's soft, everything looks good, pretty. So, you got a stick of butter in essence, right? So now I got a 1/4 cup of flour. Don't wait too long to get them incorporated. This is the part where you have to like memorize the steps, because you really kind of have to pay attention. I guess I had it up too high. It's pretty toasty. That pan is toasty. It's funny, I'm used to, you're used to the pans you cook with for a long time. When the handles are hot, I know the pot is really hot. Take a minute to cool down. Okay, remember, we got flour. I don't want it to end up tasting like raw flour. So we're going to give it a minute. We're going to start the process of the roux. That'll give it a chance to cool down. Plus, as I pour liquid in here, it's going to drop temperature. Alright, so I got a cup of decent white wine. Julia Childs would say, make sure it's French and good. I put a cup in, she'd say, maybe you need 2 cups. Grand Kerr would say, don't put any in, I drink it while I'm cooking, okay? So, that's why this show ended. I had to go to rehab. Cup of wine. We'll kind of deglaze. Get that flour just started. Wine's really cool. It really helps expedite kind of the breakdown of the flour, getting that roux going. And because the pot was so hot, it's just like evaporating right out. That's so funny. Yeah, I mean, it's just this beautiful mixture of mush. All right. Remember, you gotta watch these videos. Don't just take the recipes, because you miss all the fun, all the lessons. All right. The alcohol has left the pot. So I got 4 cups of water. Let's start with about a cup. When you pour out of these things, make sure it's all over the pot so that and that's just room temperature. I do use filtered water because tap water here is so nice and lovely. I started this new process of sanitizing our pipes, and the water tastes like, yeah. So what's kind of interesting is when you have a soup like this, a nice cream soup that's really subtle. Young red wines are really good with this. I mean, this would be great for a Beaujolais style wine. Plus, you know, it really authenticates this as a great recipe from France. I've done a little Americanization to it, but it's pretty authentic. I'm sure there are a lot of original recipes that would call for, you know, going crazy with wild mushrooms. But that gets expensive, and some of them I don't even know what to do with when I see them in the store. Like lion's mane, what the heck is that? See a little bubbling before I can proceed. It's right to the point. Yep, got some bubbling. So if you drop the temperature too much, just sit for a second and stir occasionally and look for the bubbles. When I get those bubbles back for a minute. Blip, blip, blip. Got it. And I'm guessing we're, what, about halfway there. I'm eyeballing it, but I'm doing a pretty good job. Look at that. Every time I pour a perfect cup. I'm going to stop here for a minute. Let this really catch up. Texture so wonderful. This is a really great soup, and it's really not that hard. I mean, the hardest part's sitting here stirring, right? Till your arm falls off. Let it boil. Yeah, it's cold out. Okay, that's all I can tell you. La, 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 la. of oil going here. So we always want to make sure, the reason we want to make sure we cook it enough between steps is we really want to maximize the thickening agent of the flour or whatever you're using. Otherwise it'll sneak up on you. There's nothing worse than when you go to reheat it or later in the process it really starts to stiffen up on you, and that's not what you want. It's funny, it looks so funny. Campbell's used to make a golden mushroom soup, and it had kind of this appearance, and I always thought that it was just really roux and without any milk in it, and you just dilute it with water, I think. I think mostly people used it for recipes. Okay. All aboard, last cup. So what we need to do now is we need to get these bubbles all back, and once we get the bubbles, we're just going to turn it down, and this is where one of those important steps of getting everybody happy is we're going to simmer it for 15 minutes. So I'm going to get some bubbles going, I'm going to turn it down, just watch patiently. I feel a lot of heat coming off from this. Yep. Alright, so I got some good bubbles going here. I'm going to give them a minute to get caught up, and it's turn it down a little bit, 15 minutes, and I'll be back to show you how we're going to finish this up. See you in a minute, or 15. Now, welcome back. Soup consistency is really velvety, lovely, from the roux. I really think the wine makes a difference in this case, but it's not a cream soup. So what I need to do is, at this point, I turn it down real low. It's simmered for a good 15 minutes. Not a bad 15 minutes, but a good 15 minutes. In fact, the timer just went off like 10 seconds ago. So I got 2 cups, a half and half. Nice ice cold. Just get that incorporated. Gonna get that color back to a cream. Oh yeah. Come today. Oh. Want to heat this up gently. Move this out of the way. Wow. Looks lovely. Consistency is everything. Mouthfeel, man. This is my kitchen. So I'm going to turn it off, heat it up real easy. I got just a little bit of fresh Italian parsley from the garden. Now, let's cut. Just want to stir that in. Adds a pretty color to it. Oh. You could smell this now. Alright. So, like always, see what that finished product looks like. I'm going to get it off the heat. I just love the leeks in this. So this is a really, really good, really elegant cream mushroom soup. The consistency is what I brag about because it sticks to the spoon, but it's not overly thick. Really, this is how a nice cream soup should be. Just absolutely superb. Nothing is covered up the flavor of the mushrooms. The creaminess, the smoothness of it is just absolutely fabulous, fantastic, superb. All three things wrapped up into one. Anyway, appreciate you guys. Every new subscriber really helps. Every watched hour really helps. One day we'll hit that 1,000, right? Because you're helping me. I know you are. Anyway, hope you try this and enjoy it. I will see you back next time with another great soup. Have a great day.